So after 10 years, the anime to Attack on Titan has officially ended, and my god, what a fun and emotional roller coaster it has been throughout the years. And finally, after being stuck in the same season for almost 2 years now, the final episode has dropped last weekend. This is probably going to be my most controversial video yet. A lot of Attack on Titan fans are divided on this ending, with a whole lot of people loving it and a lot hating it. And sadly, I'll have to be the one to side with the hate. But before you send me death threats in the comments, I just want to say this is just my opinion. And if you really like the ending, then all hats to you. I wish I could be on the same boat as you. But let's just go ahead and get straight into the non-spoiler talk of this video. So first of all, this series' animation is stunning. The hand-drawn animation from MAPPA has always been extremely good for the past couple of years, and it has not changed a bit. But there are a couple times where the CGI did throw me off a bit. I mean, like, why are they walking like that? The fight scenes are amazing, the voice acting is amazing, and the score is probably the greatest of all time. Presentation and production are all high quality with no complaints in that department. The only complaint that I have is the way the actual story ended. And if you haven't seen the final episode, I highly suggest you do that now, because we are about to get into heavy spoiler territory. So, the ending of Attack on Titan is Eren basically sacrificing himself and 80% of the population for his friends. We see that Paradis is waging war with the remaining countries because they still think of them as a threat, and the living survivors are just trying to make peace. In the after credits, we see a time-lapse of Paradis over the decades, and the cycle of war continues. We see a boy and his dog come across the Ymir tree, and now the cycle of Titans has also repeated. Now, first off, I read the manga ending when it first came out, and I thought it was an okay ending for this series. I wasn't mad at it, and the fact that the expectations were extremely high for this series, it made me lower my guard and accept what it was. It wasn't perfect, there were still problems with it that we'll have to talk about later, but I thought it was fine. Until they added the extra 7 to 8 pages. You see, everyone in the manga community was really upset at this ending, so Isayama decided to add a couple extra pages and make the ending even worse. Now, I would say that the way they handled the ending in the anime is much better than the way they handled it in the manga. Mainly the Armin and Eren scene. Armin thanking Eren for committing a mass genocide is just disgusting. In the anime, they completely cut out that line and added in extra lines to get into a deeper mindset of Eren. I hear a lot of complaints about Eren's character being ruined here, but I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I still think Eren's character development is one of the best I've ever seen. The change from an angry kid who wants to kill all the Titans to a psychopathic mass murderer is amazing to watch. And in the end, when Eren removed his mask and revealed his true self to Armin, and seeing him break down and regret his actions was very emotional. We see that he's still that angry, childish kid inside, but now he has godlike powers and the whole world is being affected by it. His plan to have Mikasa kill him and have his friends be the heroes that stop the monster that is Eren Yeager is amazing, if it just weren't for one detail. You see, the real problem that me and a lot of fans had was Eren killing 80% of the population for his friends to basically live in a pretty shitty world. The remaining characters lived a long life, but from the wars still happening, it doesn't mean that they lived a really good one. Now, I get the argument that it's realistic and not supposed to be a happy ending, but everything that was shown, all the people that had died in the series, the beautiful speech from Erwin about life being meaningful means nothing because Eren proved that it wasn't. Everything that Eren did was set in stone. No matter who died, no matter what anybody did, it would have kept the cycle going. Armin promises to Eren that his death won't come in vain, but it doesn't matter because no matter what Armin does, Paradis will still be destroyed. Even Eren couldn't save Sasha and Hans, and this was still the best outcome. It's honestly making me interested in seeing all the other timelines and seeing why killing 80% of the population, including his own mother, was the best outcome. Eren's plan is to make Armin and the gang look like heroes, but he could have done that without killing 80% of the world. He made this whole plan without even knowing that his friends would even survive a long life in the first place. Even if they didn't do the cycle and it had a happy ending, which this series doesn't deserve a happy ending. But even, let's say it had a happy ending, the fact that Eren committed genocide for the lives of just 5 people is still insane and really stupid. Another big issue with the finale is the amount of plot holes and unanswered questions that we have. It's fine to leave unanswered questions in shows and movies. Some of the best movies of all time have unanswered questions and it leaves the ending to the audience's imagination. That's a great way for viewers to keep the audience talking about your movie. We still talk about Pulp Fiction to this day, after almost 30 years of its release. However, Attack on Titan doesn't do that. What it does is not answer important questions or contradictions and have fans make interpretations of what happened. Like, how did Falco use his bird form so fast when it took Eren months to master his Titan form? What happened to the Wall Titans and Hallucigen after Eren's death? Did they evaporate? How does Eren turn into the Colossal Titan when he doesn't have Zeke or the Hallucigen? If Ymir is the only thing that Eren needs to use the Founding Titan powers, then why did the rumbling stop when Zeke died? That just makes Zeke's death pretty much meaningless. Why did Annie decide to not go to the battlefield, then immediately change their mind and went with Falco? Why can Eren manipulate Mikasa's memories if she's still in Ackerman? These are all answered by interpretations by fans, not the actual series itself. I even did it in the beginning of the episode, making an interpretation that these people didn't even live good lives because of the war. If you have too many interpretations and theories at the finale, then it's just poor writing rather than an open-ended ending. Most viewers may not understand it after a first viewing. It leaves the audience more confused than anything. There are other minor issues I have, like Armin talking to himself was pretty boring and didn't really go anywhere. I feel like if the scene would have just been cut out and went straight to him meeting Zeke, then it wouldn't have changed anything. I also wish that they showed more of Eren and Armin fighting in their Colossal Titan forms. I mean, this series has a ton of really cool moments, including this scene, but it felt pretty short. I really wanted to see more of that. People are upset that Connie, Jean, and Gabby didn't die in that gas, and if they did, it would have been a pretty nice and proper send-off, but they didn't, and instead it was just death baiting. I can understand why, but the fact that they needed to die is just simply unnecessary for the story. And actually, the entire scene was really unnecessary. You can cut it out from the entire series and it wouldn't have changed anything, because Reiner, Annie, and Pieck would have still been struggling to hold back the Hallucigen. Overall, the ending was just extremely divisive in the community. When the manga came out, it was heavily hated, but now I'm seeing a lot more fans praising the ending and comparing it to the manga. The anime definitely explained it and fixed a bit of issues with the ending. However, the overall logic, writing, and reasoning for the ending were just not good. But this ending didn't ruin the amazing presentation of the animation and voice acting. The entire series would forever be one of my favorites of all time. I mean, I've been watching Attack on Titan since 2014, and even though the ending was bad, it didn't ruin the entire show for me. I'll always remember all of the amazing moments from the show and my reaction to all of it. I just wish that it ended in a way better way. But hopefully Volume 35 clears up a bunch of things from the ending, or it could just be another side story. Either way, I'm excited for it. I just know that we need this movie chapter animated. But what did you guys think about the ending to Attack on Titan? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.